Hey fellas, Onus here, and welcome back to With a Y. And let me tell you, some fuel has been put into the furnace of the Slander machine. Because recently, Death Battle dropped the highly anticipated Cell vs. Metal Sonic episode. And I'm gonna tell you now, it's fucking incredible. I cannot believe how far this show has come and for how long I've been watching it. Like, probably since I was like 10, at the oldest is what I'll put it at. Maybe I'm misremembering and the show hasn't even been around that long, but it doesn't really matter, it's just come so far. I'm gonna go into the particulars of the fight in a bit, but I want to cover some of the pre-gaming people were doing when it first got announced, because by the time I do get to the fight, there's no way for me to talk about it without spoiling everything about it. The fight got announced like early last month, February, and immediately people were like, Cell vs. Metal Sonic is the next Death Battle? Like, that's hype, but Twitter's gonna be another war zone. Like, the video came out today as of me recording this, and I presume that Twitter is gonna become a hellscape as predicted in the following days. Similar to how fucking Deku versus Miles Morales ended up becoming, where it like broke containment a little bit. But in the lead up to the fight, you just had people throwing around all sorts of like obscure sources. Metal Loki getting slimed out by Cell in Death Battle, but then the combined copied Bro Libido from Sonic, Shadow, and Vector came in clutch. If you don't know, apparently Metal Sonic is powered by Orgon Energy, which is libido, according to the Sonic CD Japan manual. Part of the reason this matchup is so interesting is because Cell is known for copying the abilities of people he fights, like he has all like key abilities because of shit like that. And the thing is, not a lot of people know this about Metal Sonic if they only know him at a concept, is that one of his main abilities is being able to copy others. Like, he was originally designed, obviously, to be like a metal version of Sonic and to become better than him, but in Sonic Heroes, he gained a new form and the ability to scan somebody's fucking biodata and copy all of their abilities, like, by looking at them. And before even the fight got announced, you had people doing like scenario crafting of how they think a supposed fight could play out. From artist Yopa, I finally got you, you little metallic shit, but Cell doesn't realize he's only grabbed the marketable plushie. Another thing people were arguing was like, there's this ongoing joke, or maybe serious feeling, at least in some people, that Death Battle as an institution has a hatred for certain franchises. Sonic and Dragon Ball are two of the culprits whose fandoms talk like this a lot. Cell is gonna lose because Death Battle hates Akira Toriyama and his work. And like, then you had people before the fights even coming out, like power scaling, who does Death Battle hate more? They are kinda right, but lack the detail that it's a hierarchy of hate. And Death Battle hates Sonic way more than Dragon Ball. Death Battle hates Sonic more. Oh my god, enough with the victim complex you and Dragon Ball fans have. Also, Sonic had wins before, like, come on. And they made a fucking tier list how they feel about the outcomes of every Sonic-related Death Battle episode. There's a win column for matchups where a Sonic character wins, but like they agree with the outcome. One where it's incorrect, a Sonic character would actually win. A lose column, and then a column for battles where a Sonic character is lost, but they think Death Battle was wrong in that episode. I don't remember all of these individual episodes, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, this thing is fucking incomprehensible to read, but somebody went out of their way to make it anyways, which is the point. Like, what are we talking about, man? Oh yeah, there was another one going off the fucking libido energy. Cell in the Death Battle, when Metal Sonic starts thinking about big booty hoes, he's gonna get fried fucking immediately, man. It's over by then. And now we have the actual build-up, when people were looking at the counter for the premiere of the Death Battle, like, ticking down. It's almost time for Metal to own that fraud. Death Battle starting. If Metal Sonic loses, I'm killing myself! Well, I don't think that you should ever stake your life on the outcome of a Death Battle, or anything power scaling related, honestly. But, spoiler territory, this guy should be safe and fucking sound, because oh my god, it was a dog walk. This Death Battle is just so full of 2000s era sprite fight nonsense. Like, I want to show you a clip from the fight that was just fucking gnarly as hell.
You're dealing with the ultimate life form. I already possess his data. Observe. Chaos. Done. Life form data successfully copied.
The way it tied the ultimate life form play into the reason that Metal Sonic has access to Chaos Control, and then he uses it to like stop the thrashing he's getting, and then he scans him just to make sure he has the complete fucking set. And in this moment, he gets all the abilities of the Dragon Ball characters that Cell himself has already copied, because Metal Sonic's copy ability is quite frankly fucking broken. It is just light years ahead of anything Cell has going on with his. And then he starts playing in his fucking face, and this is like where he just gets disrespectful as fuck, man. Metal Sonic is really leaning into the copycat of it all, like he does with Sonic normally.
I know. Now I know everything about you.
Like, he steals Cell's pointing at his own head taunt, and he's basically telling him, yeah, I've got all that shit downloaded, bro. It's like a double meaning. It's so fucking good. He's so shiny. I love him so much, man. As a robot, Metal Sonic might be one of my favorite robots ever. Like, top 5 for sure. You can rank robots by, like, how menacing they are as villains or written as characters, but, like, straight aura farming, I don't care if he'll never do it again in official media, and the most we'll ever fucking get is, like, Roblox boss battles for limited time seasonal events. His resume is already stacked, and then the next thing he fucking does is he just starts whipping out Cell's own powers on him. Cell does the gross version of, like, pooping out little versions of himself to fight alongside him. Then Metal Sonic's like, I'm gonna do this respectfully by just generating matter out of nothing. That thing I can do, by the way. And then just to get even more fucking disrespectful, Metal Sonic just busts out one of Cell's own moves on him just to show him that he knows everything about him.
Don't you dare.
I fucking love that shot, like the triangle, and it zooms into Cell's face as he does it. That's probably a reference to something in the show, but I haven't seen it in a long fucking time. The disrespect, man! The fucking disrespect! And they don't let it stop there. The humiliation for Cell just never ends. It's actually not that humiliating because he didn't go out like a bitch. He survived that last attack and he's like, fuck it, we're taking it back to basics. Kamehameha off me. Dude, I don't know if you heard it, but like they synced the violin strokes or like the string orchestral notes with them saying each syllable, and it fucking built into this shit. It's so fucking good! Dude, this shit rips! I'm like a 12-year-old still, man. It's not even that. It's not even funny. Cell thinks he won the Kamehameha off, but Metal Sonic's just playing with him, dude. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll engage in this time-honored tradition just to fucking subvert it by the end.
If you want
Yeah,
all of them,
blitzed.
then so am I.
And there's one more bit I need to point out because I audibly screamed when I first watched this thing. When Metal Sonic inevitably gets that win, that thing we all knew was coming at the rate things were going. Like, he was getting mauled by Cell at the start before he, like, reached into his bag to do some of the newer form stuff. Like, Overlord Metal Sonic just barely got a chance to shine because they're like, no, there's a ceiling. There's a higher ceiling than this we gotta reach. The little core of Cell that makes up his original ability to regenerate if he's ever, like, atomized, as long as this thing lives, he can come back.
I'll crush you.
Ah, yes, every time. It's so fucking good. If you guys don't know what that's from, it ties into the sprite fight of it all that I was talking about earlier. There's a really famous scene from the series Super Mario Bros. Z, where Mecha Sonic, who is like a character in the original franchise, but who has mostly gone by the wayside, in this universe, he's interpreted as an alternate form of Metal Sonic. And sprite fights in the 2000s were just ripping off Dragon Ball Z nonstop, which is why it's so fucking sick that Metal Sonic was just ripping off Kamehamehas in current year. But Mecha Sonic does a big fucking power-up, and just watch. It didn't look like this on fucking Newgrounds if you watched it through Flash Player, I promise. But the fun coincidence there is that's literally a voice line from Cooler, a Dragon Ball Z character. So the legacy that this episode of Death Battle is continuing is like a long and storied one and pays so much homage to like what came before, like Dragon Ball's influence on a lot of people's perception of, like, if not Metal Sonic, at least Mecha Sonic, like a guy who is adjacent to metal. And this is such an iconic line that the modern iteration of Mecha Sonic in the IDW comics literally says it in his dialogue, and I remember that shit going viral because people were like, oh my fucking god, oh my fucking god! Now, I'm not a huge power scaler, I'm more of like a hype guy and agenda poster. The one I like more is who I want to win. But Death Battle, I tend to just like accept these guys at least did some semblance of the math. But like something I wasn't expecting in the post-game review for this whole thing.
Somehow, Cell takes the edge in speed.
you know.
Yeah, like, that was crazy to me. And obviously, not a lot of people agreed with that sentiment. And now we can finally get into how they were talking about this shit after the fact. Pretty much immediately, you had people doing the cope posting. I don't care if Cell lost. Without the Chaos Emeralds, Metal would have been cooked. And then, like, they drew this art of him just doing the fucking, just Mephisto darking Metal Sonic. And then somebody just coming up with the perfect panel. Super Neo Metal Sonic literally going, if? Always should, would, but never could. And of course you had a redraw of the original scene where it's Metal Sonic doing it to Cell, which is something he literally did. I completely let that get by me of like another thing Metal Sonic was doing just to fucking rub it in the bullet wound for Cell. From this fella, Gordo Obiso, target eliminated, Neo wins, and like, oh, this shit is hard, man. He's doing the forehead tap. I love this shit. And then he had art from like Tom Elson over here just depicting the fight in general. It looks fucking sick, man. The thing is, even if we as Metal Sonic fans as a community get this win, there is a cope we have to do at the end of the day. Sega watching the Metal Sonic versus Cell death battle, knowing that they aren't ever gonna do anything with him that cool in the games. It's true. Like, maybe during the movie Sonic 4 he'll get like some more play, but I don't think we're gonna get anything of those proportions anytime soon. This was one of my favorite tweets made shortly before the death battle came out, where a guy was like, Metal Sonic after copying Cell's biodata, but Vegeta's cells are low-key trash, making him a fraud. Like, the thing everybody wanted, like, by the end of it, was for one of them to copy the other and, like, use their own abilities against them, and we got that in the form of Metal Sonic. Just pure fucking taunting, man. It was evil. But within that data comes all the baggage of the people that Cell has previously copied before, and Vegeta being a fraud just immediately compromises anything that Metal Sonic has going on. It's like a curse that you have to pass on to the next guy to get rid of. But yeah, by the time that this video goes up, I'm sure more slander has been posted, and I'm looking forward to the shit show on twitter.com. Be sure to follow me on that site at with a Y. This is the last call I'm gonna make for stories about squirrels being dumb, like dying in dumb ways or just generally being stupid that you guys have seen. You can send it at that email in the description or just leave it in the comments. Anyways, piss off.